Hello, hello. Today our painting is this colorful parrot. Bright colors, red, yellow, blue. Very interesting shape of branch. And then later we can also invent the background if we put some green stuff. So as usually, let's start first with the sketch. Composition, yes? So I suggest we start with the branch. It's very cool. So here it's starting kind of 1/4 of the page. So it means you find where the middle of your page is. Yeah. Like the middle is here. So the branch is starting somewhere here. Yeah? And just kind of, we do like just the first, these two strokes. Maybe my branch will be thicker or thinner. I'm still not sure. Depends how my composition goes. But for the start. And then I can kind of move, so I can plan my branch. What is now important in this curvy line that is big enough, so it's high enough that we can enter the tail. Yeah, so not whole tail is kind of entering, but still we need to have this feeling it's long. So maybe mine one a little bit higher. And then I also should plan where my parent should end. And like don't make it very close to the end of the paper. Yeah, because otherwise it will feel like it's stick there. So definitely leave some air. Yeah, then it's considered to be a good composition. So then I say, okay, maybe somewhere here. So what I have marked, the start of the branch, approximately the curve, and now I have my parrot. So I'm already having my composition. And now I would try to put the shape of my parrot. Then I will have it more clear what to do with my branch. Okay. So again, maybe my head now already, I feel it's a bit too big. Where I can start? So maybe I can start like with this outline of the parrot on the left. Yeah, so kind of his belly. So where his belly is going. Yeah, so like this, it's a bit diagonal, but not too strong diagonal. So later here I will have his feet. And of course, no, before doing his peak, I will try to plan his back. What I also often do, before putting the line, sometimes I just draw my line in the air. So then my brain kind of imagines it. And then it's easier for me to do it. Yeah, so here also it's pretty much important to do in the right scale. It means your parrot is not too, like, the head is not too big, the head is in nice proportion with all this side. So we can even measure, let's say, the part from tail till his feet where he's sitting is almost, it's kind of the same. So let's say it's almost half. So the size I have here from my bottom of my page till the head is the same. And then I still need to have a bit space on top. Yeah, so one can recheck. because then your tail will be either too short. Yeah, but tail is really like one of his important main parts, you know, that we recognize. Ooh, yeah, that's this kakadu parrot. Okay, I'm still not doing like too precise all his fur. Yeah, just approximately. So here somewhere will be this long line. So what's important for me now? I have more or less the size of his body. Yeah, so let's say also try to feel. If you feel your parrot got too big, too thick, then it means you need to take off a little bit from the sides. Yeah, so make it the proportion a bit longer. And then we also remember the classical exercise of measuring and finding the position of any point that we need. So let's say I have my parrot now, and now I need to place his beak, his mouth, how big it is. Yeah, and then I just start to analyze. Here I can even like, okay, that's maximum I can zoom in. So what I have here, it's starting, wow, take a look, on one level with the eye. You see the dot, the dark dot on the white spot? It's an eye, the beak is starting here. Where it's ending, take a look. Yeah, so where his chest is starting. So these things, they help me, yeah? So let's say I had my line of my head, and then I can do the line of my beak where it's starting, and then I draw my line. So how big I'm doing it? Wow, that big, till the chest. Yeah? And now I also know where I need to put my eye. Yeah, here, of course, it's also helping all these parrots, this white thing and the black. Yeah, so kind of all these shapes I can put. Yeah, and I'm just kind of analyzing with my eyes. Okay, where the shape is starting, where the shape is ending. It's on the same level of, you know, one thing or the other. And of course, I keep on correcting. So if I feel I'm missing a little bit of space of something, then I and then the same story with the wing. For example, here I did the pre-line for my wing, but now I see. So again, if I draw a vertical line from my eye, just straight vertical line, I can see it's touching actually the start of my wing. Awesome, that's a great help. So this is what I do. From my eye, I draw a vertical line down. Hey, look, I actually have guessed. Yeah, nice. So then I find this point, and now it's easier for me. Now I can do my wing. Okay, there are lots of different lines on the wing. One going left, right, and so on.
Because I made my parrot a little bit small, if I make its tail like going all the way down out of the picture, it kind of looks like too long.
Okay, then it means you don't really need to go till the end. Then it means you need to find nice feeling and proportion where your tail is ending. So it's nice. It's all no problem if it's not reaching the end. Yeah, so then you just kind of just shorten. And very good, Ellie, you've pointed this out, that like you as a painter, once you have this itchy feeling inside you, something is wrong with my proportion. Yeah, my parent feels too long. Perfect. You should always listen to it and never be lazy to erase and correct. Yeah, that this makes you a good painter, that you trust your feeling, and then you are willing to do the extra job to correct. Very nice. Yeah. So, and of course, yeah, your parent smaller, it means your composition is a bit different. Then it's not like topping the edges, but yeah, then you have your tail in the air very nicely. You'll have more space to do the fun stuff of green things and yeah. Okay, here I try to put a bit more closer what's going on there with his feet. So one is kind of, we see it from the side. And the other one also, so looks a bit complicated, but can do. Yeah. Yeah. And again, the branch, of course, doesn't have to be 100% the same branch as it's here. And when you're doing something like drawing a body, doesn't matter, a body of animal, a person, take your time, spend a bit more time on your sketch, like recheck your proportions, because later when you go doing already working with paints, you will not have time to think about it. It will be much harder to do both work with colors and correct proportions, yeah, if you find them like a bit. So always kind of just recheck. It will be just easier also to work, you know, this way. Yay. Nice. I mean, take your time to finish the parrot. Yeah, then just with, I don't know, thumbs up, let me know you're fine, you're ready to move on. And meanwhile, I'm thinking, so I will just talk, yeah? You keep on finishing your parrot. So what I think, do you agree we should do the background like greenish?
Oh, yeah, but maybe like a few flowers. maybe there are like leaves around the parrot, like it's in a tree instead of just like sitting on a random branch.
Yeah, okay. I agree. So I would propose the working plan that first we do the background in kind of half transparent green. So it's kind of we prepare it, we do something greenish. So later on top we can put both a bit more stronger, darker leaves, or also some flowers if you want. Because when it's like half transparent, it's easy to cover it on top. Yeah, but then we will have. Yeah, tell me, Ellie.
Are we going to draw the background before we do it? I don't think I want to.
Tell me, what would be your plan? What would you start with?
I think we should like, well, I mean, I had an idea of like drawing flowers on the branches. Yeah.
Okay, with the pencil.
Maybe like some of the leaves in pencil, but then we like do some of the others in paint.
Sure, okay, good, no problem. I thought like, the background to do more just like abstract, but sure, let's plan also the background with the pencil. Why not? So maybe actually here can be one huge flower, so maybe like this is the branch, maybe here is some magical flower or something. I'll just try to sketch. Let's see how it goes, if I like it. Yeah, and again, for example, my flower can be that it's not really entering, in papers, it just like looks half cutted, but some. So here, I don't know if you can see it well. Here I did one huge flower that maybe, I don't know. And then the rest could be maybe one more smaller flower. Let me think. Or maybe also a flower that is a bit just like closed. So maybe it's still not open. Some. Yeah, and then, so I think I will not draw my leaves. I will just go spontaneously. So I will do this half transparent greenish layer as I've proposed. It will dry. Then I can work on my parrot on top. And then I will just put some darker green parted spots so that it feels as if there are leaves. And so the one thing I'll do before I move to paints, I will lighten up my drawing. Yeah, so here I've been pressing my pencil pretty much hard. So you can see it on the computer through the camera, but also generally, when you try to get your shape very nicely, it's always that you press your pencil strong. It's normal, it's fine. But then just, yeah, not to forget. Sometimes it happens, sometimes I forget. Lightening up. So it means I take a razor, I remove, yeah, this like strongness. So I can still see where my parrot is, where my branch, where my flower is. But the pencil is already not that strong. So if later I decide to put somewhere like very light, transparent color, both like yellow or light green, then my pencil will not be so aggressive looking from. So here I've cleaned, and then don't forget, like, take away all the very good thing is just lift up your paper and just blow it all. Also very nice technique is you just take clean dry brush. So with clean dry brush, it's also, yes, because we don't want them. Once there is water on the paper, then there is no way back to take those things out. So.
I think I'm pretty much ready to go.
Very nice, thanks. So I will try to do first still this light transparent greenish background. Why? Because then it's easier for me to go on top of the background with the bright red for the bird, bright blue, the flower. Because now I will not have to worry. I can go also like a bit over my bird. Yeah, so, and then just putting colors on top will be easier. So I think even like I have this olive green color. I think I'll take it directly. You take a look. In this case, I would suggest taking any green you have and adding yellow. Yes, yellow gives always very sunshine, very warm feeling to the green. But I would not add white at this moment. I would use better the other technique, the technique of just using more water. Yes, so this is always very valuable, especially when you just start and you have your paper white, because then the whiteness of the paper is acting as if white paint. Yeah, because if I put my green water in transparent, then the paper is shining through, and then I have this. So here what I do, I just take more water and I make kind of a puddle here. Yeah, so then I can apply my green just very, very transparent. Ooh, even now it's already like pretty much intense. I think I would like to make it even more. And here, for example, I even can go over the branch, because branch will be the darkest one. Branch will be brown. It will easily cover my and no worries on those spots that you see like from water. Yeah, they will dry and it will be fine. Yeah, so of course I try to go around my parrot, but I don't need to be that extremely accurate, exactly because when putting my first layer, half transparent, And this is the, and here where the branch is, I'm not worried at all. Yeah, where the flower, yes, well, the flower I try to go around because I'm still not sure which color I will make it. Maybe I will want it to be kind of light and, you know, like maybe white or very light pink. Yes, but then in this case, the green will not do me well. Yeah, then in this case, I also want to have my paper clean. So then the whiteness of paper helps me. Yes, okay. All right. No? Oof, too much. Very cool. Yeah. And of course, it's not a must. You should start this way. You as a painter, you can experiment. Sometimes you start with the main part and do your background at the end. Sometimes you try this technique, you kind of do this base layer. Because as I said, later I will go with darker green parts on top, making leaves. But then this yellowy greenish will be shining through, and it's pretty much warm. Yeah, so even if I will fill up almost everything with lots of leaves, still this will give a nice effect.
I finished my background.
What about you, Ellie?
I'm still working on it.
All right, let's yeah, we wait for you, Ellie. No worries. Finish your background and then we all go together. I will just talk about the next steps. So the next step I would do, I would try again, it's always comfortable to work from light to dark because it's easier to, you know, go on top of light paint. So I suggest we do the peak of Parrot, and here it's like it's almost white, it feels. So it's very light yellow with some highlight that looks also almost white. And then we have also yellow, that it's a bit brighter. This yellow is brighter than the peak, but still we shall do it first, because again, I can put then more yellow than in the end I will have on my painting, but then it will be easy to, then I just go with my red and with my bluish on top and so on. So in this case, I suggest you take yellow paint. Well, can be both. Maybe for the peak, I'd I take like lemon yellow, but very like tiny drop, and lots of some more white. And for the parts on his body, I would take just directly the medium yellow, yeah, the one that is warmer. Okay. So let's say here I'm putting my white, and then tiny bit of yellow. I'm sure you already know these proportions that, as if I want to make a sky blue, I take much more white and tiny bit of blue, then it's mixing into very light sky blue. The same with yellow. Yeah, so here I have lots of white, and I'm mixing it a bit with this yellow, so it's like pale. Yeah, and all I do, I just cover all my parrot peak. Yeah, and yes, I said at the peak there are some white highlights. Those are important to show that the peak is has volume. So here, what I did, I will just put this light. When it's gonna be dry, then I can also kind of go on top with these whiter areas. Yeah. But all I did now, I've put this very light yellow. And the next step will be a bit brighter yellow. Ooh, a bit too much. A bit brighter yellow for all the parts on his body. So next to the eye as well. And now I'm not taking much water. I even haven't dipped my brush into the water, just pretty much like putting my paint thick. Here I have those. So here what I did, I had my, so peak was more pale, and the side of the head is a bit more. And here at the yeah, and again, this technique going from light to dark is comfortable because now I don't need to worry how much yellow I'm putting. The opposite, I kind of need to put a bit more than I need, because then it's easier for me to cover on top with my blue and with my reds and so on. What I also did now, I see that the peak of Parrot, so then in the middle it's lighter, but on the sides and bottom is a bit darker. So I also did this, yeah. A bit light. Yeah, and also no rush, let it dry. But also it's not that important it dries perfectly, because it's also actually a little bit convenient if my yellow is still a bit wet. So then when I'm putting red and when I'm putting blue, it gets mixed a bit. So then I get a bit orangey and a bit greenish, yeah, on the connections. And then, yeah, it also looks nice. It looks more natural. Okay. Yeah, so girls, I wait. You let me know Yeah, so the next color would be red. And also blue. Yeah, then we'll check out which blue you have. Here I have cobalt blue. I think cobalt blue is matching nicely. Yeah. If you want to be your Parrot realistic, but of course you can also take other colors and actually invent, and you know, why not make. And also, for example, yeah, we are still leaving our flower to wait. And it's also because I'm still, let's say, unsure which color I want the flower to be. Of course, I already might have ideas. I like pinkish, or I like purplish. Yeah, or maybe can be light orange. But what's the good way? It's first putting all the colors you're sure about. So I'm sure my parent's gonna be bright red, and it's gonna have bright blue parts. And once I have it, it's easier for me to decide what color should I do other parts. You know, then you kind of see which color is matching nicely. Maybe pale pink will be. Yeah. So okay, a little story about putting red. So I will try to work again a little bit in the similar idea as we did with background, that I put a base layer and then I build some shadows on top. So let's analyze. Of course, then we see, okay, the upper part of head, the body, the wing, everything is red. And I will now just color it all red. Okay, also where the tail is. Then I'll let it dry a bit. And then I will do, well, let's see, maybe light brown or kind of red mixed with brown. And then I do all these shadows that show, yeah, where the belly is going, where the wing is starting, where the peak is connecting with the head, and all those things, yeah? And this makes always our work, of course, more detailed. And what I do, so I have my red, it's just plain cadmium red, straight from the tube. I don't change it. My brush is pretty much dry, not too wet. So when I do fur and all those hairs, I really like to have my brush with not so much water, because then I can use, I can have it also as dry brush technique in some areas. Huh? And what I do, I put my color, but I'm also thinking of the direction of the fur. So I'm not coloring my parrot like any direction. I'm thinking, okay, here, yeah, it goes like straight. Here it goes a bit diagonal. Maybe where it's already like the back of the head, it's going a bit more even perpendicular. Yes, and try to feel the moment your brush starts lacking the paint, so it's already kind of not painting. Don't go straight away adding paint, but feel a bit and move it so you can have those dry brush strokes, and they look cool. They look like yeah. Yeah, and where the head is, then I'm moving my brush even like kind of the opposite from the peak end to the top. Yeah, so I'm just kind of coloring areas. And if there is the part when I'm a bit closer to my those yellow spots, then I can also try to interfere them a bit here. Kind of getting a bit. Yeah, so also with dry brush, sometimes it's a bit more control when you need to do some yeah, those connections and yeah, and also no, don't worry if like it's not a must to cover all the red parrots now, like meaning you can have no, later when you come back and the tail. Let's forget about the tail. Very bright.
I made my parrot's tail red and gold.
So again, I didn't get you well.
I made my parrot's tail red and gold.
And gold, yay! Good for reminding. I actually also wanted to have some gold around. Yeah, because red and gold, they match very nicely. You're right. Should it be then, but you're doing gold instead of blue, or you're gonna have also blue?
I think I'm having a little bit of blue too.
Actually good, yeah. The gold, very good thing, Ellie. So as I've mentioned, we're gonna do later a little bit of shadows. So a little bit of darker red, kind of brownish red. But actually the lighter parts can be with gold. Yeah. I'll also put some. but maybe like not everywhere, just to the parts that are the light side. So maybe kind of think here a bit on the wing can work. Ooh, and here again, I'm using a dry brush, so then it helps me to do just some like separate strokes and nice. Feels shiny.
I got a really cool pink color when I accidentally mixed my red and my yellow.
Yay. Okay, so it looks like a bit more pinky orangey. So it's okay if I move to blue already?
I am already doing my blue.
The girls are already in front of me. Yay, I like it. Okay. Yeah, so here doing my blue, I keep on thinking about the direction. Yeah, so it's not just I'm putting blue, in any direction, but it's more I'm thinking, okay, it goes straight and or diagonal. And the blue parrots, they will also have a little bit of these brownish parrots, yes, because it's all about these shadows. But those we will need like very tiny brush. So then it's really it doesn't make our painting like dark and dirty, but it just gives the feeling of volume. Yeah? So careful, always when you do those darks, especially black. So here I would even suggest not taking black, but just brownish. And then it's more safe. Sometimes I use dark blue instead of black, but just in this case, we already have our kind of dark blue. Yeah, or maybe even actually, like I have a bit of blue left on my brush, and maybe I just can go around like doing those shadows on the red, then it will work. And because I'm really like not willing to do the very dark, but nice. Our parrot looks cutie. So still, I will put, of course, a little bit of black, because of course, then we have the parts, the under the eye. Yeah, but then I change for a small brush. I'll show you also. I have like one normal small, and then I have one like tiny small. So this is like normal small, and this is like very, very tiny. Yeah, so tiny ones, they help to get into them. And then with this my tiny brush, then I can do here a little bit around peak, yeah. But you should be very like, in case you don't have this tiny brush, or it could be even sometimes better to skip this part. Yeah, because it can happen, you can have it all to, ruin a bit, make it too dirty, too dark. But if you have a tiny brush and you feel sure, then of course it makes a very professional yeah, and then the feet I also do with dry brush, not too much water. Then again, I can reach those strokes, and then somewhere it's lighter, somewhere it's darker. And then since I have black, I can do a little bit, for example, very good looking is this, to do a bit of shadow of this darker line. So under the wing and on top of the tail, yeah? Because then it shows it's a little bit kind of, we have this difference of that one is on top, one is Oh, very nice parrot. I like how it's turning out. Okay, too detailed, too intense, my parrot. So need to move quicker. I'll take a bit brown to do the branch. Yeah, and then again, I'll put just brown the way it is to do my branch, and then I can put on top a bit more darker parts. But before, actually, here I've noticed it here also some lighter areas, and I have a bit of my gold left, so I will just kind of put here gold, and again, without much worrying where it is. And then I go with brown. Brown is like this, that sometimes it's kind of gets a bit too transparent. And then it means you just kind of need to wait and then put a second layer on top. So like, don't fight with this. Just wait till it's dry and then put a bit of more brown again. If you want somewhere it more. I'm not going too quick, girls, or like, should I wait, or you already also?
I'm starting on the branch. Just going too quick for me.
All right. Sorry, Ellie. Yeah, please also remember to tell me if I do sometimes get carried away with the. But okay, cool. Juliet is already doing the branch. Yeah, and another thing is also the mixing brown and black in the areas where you wanna get dark. Yeah, so here with my branch, I was playing. So first I did this lighter gold area. Then I was putting light or just normal brown top. And then I was doing the brown mixed with black. And like this, then my branch looks more interesting, more volume-ish. And, and then always clean your brush well after using black and brown. Like if you intend to use the same brush again, then I also wipe it a bit, because then it's you have those dark parts, they stick where the metal part is, or you just use different brushes. Yeah, it's also good to have brush for lighter stuff and for dark. Yeah, then you don't need to worry about cleaning it too much. All righty. Yeah, now I'll be just thinking loud what flower I want to do, what color. So maybe this one I don't need anymore. We did our bird. And now I'll try to think about colors for the pinkish orangey. Maybe pinkish and orangey. Yeah, but definitely light. Definitely I will use some yellow. Yeah, but I'm waiting. I'm not going to the flower. Yeah, we go together. And I suggest we do the flower first, and then we finish our background with some greenish strokes. That will be like maybe some leaves we can do more realistic, and the rest is just like as if they're there in the background. What color will be your flower, girls?
Mine is just like closed up and it's gold and like ultramarine. Mine is a rose gold that's kind of white and like rose.
Wow, you already have it?
No.
Okay, just planning. Nice. I was afraid you read it. Nice. Very. Thanks again, Ellie, for reminding. I will also use gold again. And yes, I think I also like the idea of having this light rose gold story. Let's check. And then I need to plan. So the flower looks also cool, and it has the some area lighter and some area darker. And then we need just to choose if we're gonna have the middle darker and the endings of the flower lighter, or the opposite, yeah? I think, okay, I think I'll try to make the endings lighter and inside a bit darker. Yeah? So I have my pink, but I will need a bit more white, because I want it to be like more light transparent. So, do you mind if I start with flower already?
I think mine is done. I am starting on mine.
Okay, perfect. Then we are together. Yeah. So what I did now, I took pink with white, and I'm so kind of try to do the lightest I could. I want, or I can. And again, I can even kind of color it all in, because it's my lightest layer. And so this was my pink mixed with white. And now I can take just, let's say, pink directly, or even pink with a bit more red. And then I can kind of try to build it. And here again, dry brush helps me a lot. It's much, much easier to do those kind of fancy strokes and and then I found maybe my flower is a bit too pale. Here I'm doing a bit of almost kind of reddish. Yeah, and then somewhere gold as well. Yeah, and then also, let's say if any one of you already have, you can also do a bit of, so like those dark, I'll show it in a minute, those dark lines in the middle of the flower. Here it's a bit. Okay, flower. Not to forget the small one, also a bud of small closed. Nice, really like how gold mixes with the red and pink. Looks fancy. Okay, I see Juliet is a bit bored. Are you all finished or you're waiting for something to
I
do?
might start on my leaves.
Okay, yeah. Give me just very bit and we move to the leaves. Yes. So for leaves, like you can now try to think and prepare like darker greens. And then it would be cool also to not to have it one, but at least two or better even like three. Yeah, so then it looks more interesting. Okay, I'm kind of also pretty much done with all the pinkish. Okay, let's find space on palette and put some greens. As a way to save the paints, what I can do, I have leftovers of yellow and leftovers of blue. Which color shall I get? Green, of course. Yeah, so, but then just remember the proportions. Yeah, I would put more here. Nice. And straight away I'm having another green color here. All right, so for example, just to warm up, what I do, I just did a little bit of here greenish, so where my flowers are being attached to the branch. So I'm putting this, and then I already can feel, what kind of green it is, how it looks. Yeah, if it's not too light, not too dark. Yeah, and when if let's say my flower is closed, then I'm always adding a bit green on top of the flower. So not just kind of you color the, the line, and then it's the circle part of red. Now you always need to mix them a bit to, yeah, because they're like one getting into another. Okay, and now I feel so those greens I did for the flowers, they're kind of dark. I still would prefer to start with lighter. So either again, I can have my green with a bit of yellow. Yes, I'm just starting safe. And you know what I think? I'll take palette knife. Girls, what about palette knives? I think this could be cool too. Yeah, so and then we're just doing the strokes. Yeah, but still we can use both palette knife and brush as helper. And I'll try to start in safe area. Let's say the area you think, okay, there for sure I'll have some leaves, or if anything, I can kind of cover it all green. Yeah, just so you can you warm up, not go like straight away in some very clean and light area. Yeah, because here I'm still unsure. Maybe my leaves gonna be just somewhere here. Yeah. Okay, I'll try. So what I have my palette knife, can be anyone, just kind of which feels to you, to your intuition, that could work nicely, comfortable to hold, to move. And what I do, then I put, and then I just start putting some strokes. And again, palette knife is a bit cool. It goes, I mean, it's cool, and it's a bit as this dry brush technique. And here it's nice mixing greens. And what I do, so sometimes it's hard to grab paint with palette knife if you don't have, enough amount of paint on your palette. And then it means sometimes then I just go and sit with my brush. I can take brush and just sit a bit on the palette knife. And then you'd ask, okay, why then I just don't go with the brush? The thing is that the strokes and the effects you're getting with palette knife, it will be like almost impossible to get with brush. And they're so unpredictable and always also very spontaneous, something what you can get. Yeah? And again, I'm mixing a bit of lighter, a bit of darker. Yeah, and then of course, not everywhere. Yeah, so making choices is the part of your job as an artist. And it means that not whole painting. Yeah, and I come back. If somewhere I feel okay, maybe it went too dark, I can. And I help if there is some area where I cannot get in with my palette knife, it's too uncomfortable, then I just help it with my brush. Yeah, then I just kind of smoothen. And you will feel straight away how different it works, brush and palette knife. Yeah? And palette knife is really, it's either like, you love to work with it or you hate it. Yeah? So it's good to practice, to experiment. And no worries if you're getting over with palette knife somewhere around your bird, like on top. It can look, sometimes it will look even like cool, you know, like the leaves maybe are on top. And if somewhere like, okay, it doesn't look too nice, you can always like recorrect it a bit. Yeah, and then you can make shorter or longer moves with your palette knife. Yeah, so just play with it. Yeah, its palette knife is always in the experiment. Yeah, and if you see you're going too dark, just add a bit more yellow straight away. It will get your thing lighter. But the same goes for the dark. Yeah, the dark accents, they make it. Yeah, especially, for example, maybe if your flower, yeah, so my flower is pretty much light. So to show it more, I go with darker green in between the Yeah, and you can make, let's say, more leaves and everything at the bottom. And you can then just less on top. And that's why then this thing we did in the start, you know, covering all over like this base green layer, it's nice. Now it's just staying where and what I also like to do is when I'm putting all those different layers with green, well, I actually need to give it a bit more time to dry, and then I can fill up the areas with a bit fluidish green in between, so I'll kind of unite. Okay, I'll talk about it again when I do it. Now I remember that I haven't done the insides of the flower. Yeah, and then just I take just dark brown and black. And then I just do the lines with the kind of dots at the end.
I think I'm done with.
Wow, I'm excited to see how it turned out. Oh my God. Wow, I love it, Juliet. I love your leaves. I love you went with the brush and made them, I think it looks a bit like Matisse. You remember French painter Henri Matisse? Yeah, we did his cat. And I think it reminds this style, and this style is called fauvism. It's a French word, starts with F, it's like F-A-U, then V, fauvism. And it went after the Impressionism, and it was already like making these bold shapes. Yeah, so it's like pure color. So it's the moment when the shape is not at this important, but more important is the color. And I see it in your painting, the way you did it with the green leaves. Very nice. I think I prefer it than my experiment with the palette knife, but it's okay. Art is always an experiment. We learn every time. So great job. Thank you for choosing this topic of bird and a branch. And we got to this parrot. Okay, Juliet went to clean already, and me and Ellie, we are still working on. Hey, you see, Ellie, what I'm doing now? So I had my strokes, and now I just take like this watery green, and again, I kind of fill out areas in between. So like these, I unite. So I still have my interesting strokes, but I make them all a bit more together. All right, I think I also will. Mhm.
I'm done with
Yeah.
mine.
Excited to see your one, Ellie. Yeah, I will also in parallel will be taking off the tape from mine. 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Yes, a bit closer. Ooh, the flower is awesome. The parrot, I love how he's this like thin and tall, and he's like sitting very confident on the branch. And you see, girls, so this technique, yeah, amazing, amazing painting today, both Ellie and Juliet, very impressed. And how you went with the leaves on top, that there are less on top, yeah. So it's very good to make this beige layer for the background. Awesome. Yeah, take a look, Ellie, how your yellow is shining from, yeah, so this first thing with it, we put all this yellow, like greenish yellow, and then we started building things on top. Amazing, I'm impressed. This one definitely deserves a spot on a wall, doesn't it? Yay.
Yeah, my beach one dried, and I hung it up.
Mm-hmm. Nice, nice.
My 3 favorite paintings I did was the beach
Yes.
that we did the beach that we did on the canvas, and the beach that we did with the collage thing. So my 4 favorite ones, my moon painting and this painting.
Today was an amazing experiment. Yay, and so colorful. Good job, girls. Hard job and good job and great results. Yay.
My flower took so long to finish because I made this pretty pink, then I accidentally painted blue on it. So then I tried to put the black over the blue, but then I dabbed it with it, but then I made a rose spot in the middle. So then I dabbed it, but then the black got everywhere. So then I used white, but then I wasn't happy with it. So then I just used the palette knife on the flower.
Wow, what a fight. Nice. I love how you fight for your paintings, girls. Amazing job. Also, don't forget to sign. You're a true artist. Yeah, so somewhere, have you already invented your artist signature?
Yeah, no.
Well, it's always time like to think about it, practice. And the more you practice on your artworks, the better you get. And yeah, later on, when you have like some awesome artwork and someone tells, oh, I'm buying it, but they will say, but please sign it for me. And then you already practiced, you're not scared to put your name, but with confidence, you write your letter and the year. Yeah, so very nice.
It's a shell.
Good.
Read it.
Mm-hmm.
I like mine.
Nice. Okay, I'm stopping recording with our happy results.